Today we'll talk about convertible term insurance. I'll go over what it is, the benefits of it, and also something important to be aware of. So let's start with what it is. Let's assume someone is 30 years old, they're getting a term life insurance policy, and they receive what's called a preferred plus health rating, which is the top class. That just means the premium will be as low as possible. Now, the policy that they buy is a $1 million 20-year term, which means that $1 million will last for 20 years. However, we're going to add what is called a conversion option. 20 years from now, he'll be 50, and the term policy will expire and he won't have life insurance anymore. What if he says, I still need or I still want life insurance, but he's not healthy anymore? Let's assume that he either can't get it or it'll be very expensive. This is where a convertible term policy can be really, really valuable. So, what is a convertible term policy? It allows you to take your existing term policy and convert it into a new whole life insurance policy. The rating is based on what you originally received when you took that term policy out. So he started his term policy when he was 30, and he got a preferred plus rating. So even if he would get declined today, if he converts this term to a new whole life insurance policy, he'll still receive that preferred plus rating, and there's no new medical underwriting, which is extremely advantageous if I still need or want life insurance. Now, you can convert the full $1 million, or it can be a partial conversion, and you can do multiple partial conversions over time. So for example, if he said, hey, over the next 20 years, I want to convert $250,000 of my $1 million term policy to whole life insurance, he can do that. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Now, there is something very important that we want to be aware of, and it's that whole life insurance can be very expensive if it's just sold as whole life insurance. So where people often say, hey, I'm not converting this term policy because it's too expensive, or they say, why would anyone do this, is if they're just shown a basic whole life insurance policy. Here's the key thing to be aware of. When you convert that term policy to a new whole life insurance policy, you can have it designed with a term insurance rider, which allows you to lower the premium. So for example, if you did not add a term insurance rider, let's assume you're 45 or 50 years old and you say, hey, I want to convert my $1 million term policy to a new $1 million whole life insurance policy. Well, it's going to depend on the product, but it is going to cost a lot. The minimum premium might be around $35,000 per year. So if you're paying $500 per year, that's a huge increase. I wouldn't want to do that. Now, here's what you can do. You can convert that term to the same whole life insurance policy, but we can set it up where of the total $1 million benefit, $100,000 is whole life insurance, and then the other $900,000 is term insurance. And how it works is as you add money to your whole life insurance policy, what happens to the whole life death benefit? It goes up. And you can have a setup where the term benefit comes down by the amount the whole life is going up by. So after so long, if your whole life benefit has grown to $500,000, that means your term will have come down to $500K. And the two together will always equal the total benefit of $1 million until A, the whole life death benefit overtakes the term rider and it's pure whole life, or B, you remove the term insurance rider, which would reduce your death benefit, but it is something that is optional that you can do. Now, the big advantage to this structure is that instead of just getting a pure whole life insurance policy with, call it, a $35,000 yearly premium, you might be able to shrink the all-in minimum premium to $5,000. So now you have a much lower yearly commitment. And if you said, hey, I'm interested in the cash value, well, then what we can do is add an optional PUA rider, which allows you to dump more money into the policy, which will accelerate the cash value growth, which is what most people are interested in. But I definitely want to be aware of that option in terms of using a term rider with the new conversion, because that allows me to keep my premium low. I will add that all companies have different limits when it comes to how much term insurance in terms of a rider I can attach to that new whole life insurance policy. I did include a video in the comments that really performs a deep dive on that. So let's quickly recap. What is convertible term life insurance? It's a term policy where you have the option to convert to a new whole life insurance policy without the need to go through any medical underwriting. The benefit is that I don't have to go through any underwriting, and I lock in my health rating that I received when I first started that term policy many years ago. And then the thing I want to be aware of is when I convert it to whole life, I don't want to just convert it to a basic whole life insurance policy that's very, very expensive. No, I want the awareness that I can attach a term insurance rider, which will allow me to shrink my premium. And you can do that with a new whole life insurance policy as well. That's not exclusive to convertible term life insurance. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments below. And as always, I hope this helps.